Game 3, 4-0 win. I have to admit, they had me in the first half. Watching the first half, I was going, I don't know. The Canes don't seem to be as locked in as they were in Washington. And then the switch happened. And I went, never mind. They're good. They end up scoring 4 goals. There's to me 3 names that I think are most responsible for that win being as dominant as it was. 3 names for very different reasons, by the way. The first one is Freddie Andersen. That one's obvious, right? When you end a playoff game as the goalie and the opposing team had not scored a goal and the crowd is chanting your name, something good happened. So we'll talk about Freddie Andersen, but
especially when you're stopping breakaways 30 seconds into a game.
And that's the other part of it, is he was kind of the spark. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like your safety in football leading you in tackles. It's like, I like it for you, but I don't want my safety leading him in tackles. Like, Freddie was the spark. He made the first couple of big plays for the Canes, which is great for Freddie. I'm happy for him, right? He did what he needed to do to help his team, but I really don't want my goalie to make the first couple of big plays. I don't want him to have the opportunity to make the first couple of big plays. Like, I don't want my safety to have the opportunity to lead my team in tackles. And then there was the play that kind of turned everything, right? And I'm calling it like a section. There was the Martinook. Jordan Martinook's one of the other 3 guys that I mentioned. Jordan Martinook's hit on Wilson, put him on his keister, knocked him on his rump, whatever you want to say, put him on his back, and then Svetch scoring the first goal. Freddie, awesome. The Martinook to Svetch play there is exactly what we were talking about on Friday. If you remember, we had a conversation on Friday about, we were obviously nitpicking because the Canes were 1-1 coming home after starting their first 2 games on the road and taking home ice back. But the thing that felt absent in the first 2 games was what I was calling the second O. Right? And I the only way I could describe it was leaning on the And One mixtape tour from back in the day, where Hot Sauce would cross somebody over and they'd fall and the crowd would go, oh! Talk about street ballers. And then he would throw the alley-oop. And the dunk was the second O, right? It'd be, oh, and then the place would go nuts, right? And if they missed the alley-oop, or if you cross somebody over and missed the jump shot, you never got the full satisfaction of the second roar from the crowd. The Martinook-Wilson hit, to me, was the crossover. Right, it was the play that got everybody excited, and all they needed was somebody to catch the alley-oop and yam it home, and that is exactly what Andrei Svechnikov did off of a not great face-off, but he gets the puck and he finds a way to put it into the back of the net, and that was the dunk that sent the crowd into hysterics, and then from that point on, it was quicksand for Washington. The harder they struggled, the more difficult it was for them.
That whole shift, you're talking about the Martinook kick, that whole shift, especially after Rod switched up the lines. Mm-hmm. It was Stahl, Martinook, and Carrier. That whole shift. And like you said, the hit by Martinook was just part of it.
Yep.
And everything seemed to flip right there because I think the whole crowd started to sense like, okay, now we're in this thing. Like that's the Canes hockey, that dominant style of play that we're used to seeing. There it is. And then, like you said, Svetch capped it off with the baby.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
what it was.
Oh, baby. Andrei Svechnikov. My godson. Like it felt like you needed the street ball broad or the on court, I guess it would be on ice in this scenario, MC, just to get the crowd into a frenzy. And Svetch in the postgame talked about the importance of having that first goal of the game for him and his team.
Yeah, very nice. Just with the way 1-0, I think that's huge, especially when it's kind of 0-0, tight game, and you score a goal, and that team kind of, gives up a little bit. But they played great, and we give them credit. Our first kind of period was a little bit sloppy, but we came hard on the second period, and just continue doing that.
Yeah. I think it was that important. I think it was that exciting. I think it was that meaningful of a goal. And then you build off of it, right? And you build off of it, and you build off of it until it's 4-0. And breaks seem to go your way, right? People that say momentum doesn't exist, they never played any kind of sports, because it absolutely does. Roslovic on the power play? Dennis, explain to me, because I know we were talking about it and you were all fired up about it. How, like, if you're Roslovic, what do you look at for that goal? Like, what do you take away from it?
So his power play goal?
Yes.
In what sense?
Like,
just, hey, you know what? I got nothing else. Just throw it on the net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was very much a let's see what happens here, and it ends up a goal. That's the type of momentum stuff, right? When things are going your way, that puck finds its way into the net. When things aren't going your way, I mean, it doesn't even sniff the net, right? The goalie like laughs at you while he makes the stop. But because the quicksand was already eating up Washington, Thompson's going to let that one through.
Yeah, that was a soft one by Thompson. But hey, I'm not going to complain.
Not at all.
Not
even a little bit.
I'm not going to give it back.
Why would I? Eric Robinson scores a beauty of a goal.
Oh.
Right? Whoever out there, right, people always say on their bingo cards, on your bet slip, if you had Jack Roslovic with a power play goal and Eric Robinson with a beauty, that is one of the best predictions I've ever heard, if you nailed that one pregame. The others, quote-unquote, stepped up. Because we're going to talk about this. Do you know who has not scored a single goal in this series? Ovechkin, Aho, Jarvis. Those are, you could argue, the two best scorers on one team and the best scorer in league history on the other team. And through 3 games, they have not found the net. So you want to talk about a series being all about which team can be effective, not just the top guys, but top to bottom. This series has been that, right? Who's quote unquote others can be the and by the way, I don't want to act like those 3 guys have done nothing, but you need other guys to step up and finish, step up and score. And they've done that.
Yeah, top guys for both teams haven't really done much of anything, if we're being honest. In terms of like the top line.
I was
Dylan Strome only has 1 assist the entire series. For Washington.
Svetch is sitting there like, what else do I have? 8 goals or 6 goals through 8 games. What else I got to do? But you are completely right, and it does put a spotlight on which teams. Others sound so derogatory. Not top guys, like which teams bottom 6, which teams whatever. The ones that aren't considered top guys have performed better, and I think in Game 3 it was obvious that the Canes had more others ready to capitalize on whatever opportunities presented themselves. And then yes, Freddie was awesome, right? Because I don't know if there's anything more obvious than when your goalie plays great, everybody just, it seems like they played better, right? We would be really upset at Kokiniemi, or we'd be really upset at some of these guys for their turnovers that gave up pretty good looks if Freddie didn't bail them out, right? So hopefully Freddie isn't paying for dinners for a while when he's out with the team, right? There are guys just like, no, Freddie, I got you. Like, hopefully that's happening because it was that good. He set the tone. Tom Galidi, apologize if I mispronounced that, from NHL.com. Just a couple stats on Freddie because I actually think the numbers do it justice. A lot of times the numbers don't. Freddie Andersen leads the playoffs with a .929 save percentage on high danger shots on goal. Mm-hmm. Per NHL Edge Advanced Statistics. He stopped all 21 Caps high-danger shots on goal in the second round, including 9 in the 4-0 win in Game 3. 9 for 9 in stopping high-danger looks against a team that has a bunch of guys that are having career scoring years. A bunch of guys that came into the postseason for Washington. Goal looked like a soccer goal to them, and Freddie is doing what he's doing through 3. It's really impressive, and it makes everybody a little bit better looking. Right? Everybody on that team grading out a little bit better because no harm, no foul, right? Oh, you made a bad mistake, but it didn't give up a goal. Thanks, Freddie. Like, everything looks a little bit better.